Hello and welcome to my neighborhood. I'm Ron Oliveda, your host of Love Where You Live, the art of being neighborly. This is a community-wide movement, and just imagine how much better our world would be if we simply got to know our neighbors. Many times, though, there's conflict. How do we address that issue? How do we get past it to become better people? Today we're discussing conflict resolution with community leader Jennifer Cumberbatch. Jennifer advises and consults with people throughout Austin. She's a wife, she's a mother of 4, and guess what? She loves her neighbors. She's going to be talking about that today, right now. Let's go on in and have a chat. Well, morning, Jen. How are you?
Good morning.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do? I know you're a mom of 4.
I am.
You're married. What do you do for a living?
Well, I write, and I also am a part of a congregation where I provide leadership, and I'm also involved in kind of advising people about their life and questions they might have or struggles that they're going through.
Okay, and who do you consult? Who do you talk to? Who do you advise?
Young, old, adults, children, married couples.
About life struggles? Or
about
what?
life struggles, about conflict resolution, about honoring their relationship above any differences that they might have.
So that's really perfect with the theme that we're talking about here today, about
Absolutely.
conflict resolution, and this new campaign that we're taking throughout the greater Austin area called Love Where You Live, the art of being neighborly. You've lived in Austin for a while. How neighborly do you think we are, generally speaking?
I think unless we're proactive and intentional, we pretty much live in our silos. I think we have exchanges with one another around areas of mutuality or things that we agree on, or maybe ethnicity or gender or a cause. But in our particular neighborhoods, I think we live behind closed doors.
Why do you think it's so important to know your neighbors?
I want to know what people think and what their favorite dish is, and do they like gardening? Do they jog in the afternoon? Do they have dogs? Do they like certain music, etc.? It's mutually beneficial for me to know other human beings that are sharing the space with me.
So Jen, just thinking about different kinds of conflicts that can pop up in a neighborhood, just knowing when the neighbor is driving by and they're giving you that look or what, or you can tell right then and there, guy's got a conflict with me, doesn't like me. What can I do to make the first step or to calmly approach that person?
Well, having had that experience, I think the first thing is to get rid of my defensiveness, okay? To say, okay, this is a person. What experiences might that person have had that caused that suspicion or that friction? This is a person who doesn't know me. They may know a stereotype or a caricature, but they don't know me. Sharing our lives with one another is a gift to not only us who are in relationship, but to the world that's looking in on our relationship, and to future relationships that each one of us will have.
But do you go to the person you have a conflict with, or do you go to a counselor? Who?
One of the things that I think is really important in resolving conflict is to say, if I had a grievance, how would I want to hear it from a neighbor? And once I've kind of thought that through, I think it's an appropriate step to go and have a conversation with my neighbor.
There's a lot of people that carry a lot of conflict with them. How do you advise people to resolve that?
I think one way is to receive people at the place where they are. I have a different life story than your life story. And if I'm being proactively empathetic, I can try to take a deep breath and put myself in that person's shoes. It doesn't mean that I necessarily agree with their perspective, but I'm trying to show that I have respect for what they're feeling. So I think it's really important that we embrace people at the space where they are, all the while trying to walk together to a different and more healthy place. But acceptance, I think it begins with acceptance.
So Jen, where would you like to see this campaign go, this Love Where You Live, the Art of Being Neighborly, this movement in the greater Austin area? What kind of effect would you like to see from this?
Sometimes we want to go wide instead of deep. And so my hope would be that it would not be superficial, that it would not engender, okay, we've done that for the month of February and March, and we've gotten 3,000 people involved, and this is the extent of the impact. But rather, we go deep. And if there's one relationship that goes beyond the surface and has a genuine and authentic exchange of hopes and dreams and who those people are in relationship to their community, then I will have thought that this whole movement is completely a success. And if we start it, it'll be a legacy for our children and our children's children.
And life-changing consequences.
Absolutely. I think we will see the power of community and the power of literally loving our neighbor. That can change the world for the better. And it starts just on that one-on-one. And so my invitation, my hope is that we will intentionally go as deep as we do wide. That's my hope for the whole movement.
You're awesome.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. Bless you. Don't you love the intentionality of Jen's attitude as a neighbor? She encouraged us to go as deep as we do wide, meaning to intentionally respect and love each individual person in our neighborhood. It's not just the quantity of relationships, but more importantly, the quality of those relationships. Jen also starts with one-on-one conversations, getting to know our neighbors and proactively seeking to resolve conflict whenever necessary. Jen outlined a 3-step approach to conflict resolution. First, commit to talk to your neighbor. Second, make a concerted effort to practice empathy. In other words, before you approach your neighbor, put yourself in their shoes. Try to look at the situation from their perspective. And third, take the initiative and approach your neighbor in a timely manner. Don't wait and let the issue get worse. Go and pursue peace. Here are some applications that I'm taking home. Consider your own neighbors and others in your life. Where is there conflict that I can do my part to resolve? So I'll ask you the same. How can you take the initiative to resolve conflict? Finally, by living in peace with our neighbors, you have an opportunity to create great neighborhoods. And remember, neighborhoods lead to communities, communities to cities, cities to states, and ultimately, the seeds of peace you sow in your neighborhood can and will ultimately impact our nation. Thanks for watching The Art of Being Neighborly. Until next time, I'm Ron LWYL.